We're going to learn about creating proposals. Proposals can be built from work item templates. They can also be built from existing work items, or you can create them manually, as we will now. So we're going to click here, select proposal. A proposal can either be an estimate or a quote. Okay, so if you're sending a fixed price guarantee, select quote, otherwise leave it set to estimate. This is the owner. It will default to the user who is creating the proposal, but you can change it. So let's give this one to Monica. Here you can enter a purchase order number. We're going to give it a subject, new client proposal. This is the date that you're issuing the proposal, the expiration date. You can change the currency, apply a discount. Let's give this one a 10% discount. And then you can also apply taxes to it. Here, we're going to specify information about the recipient. So let's say we're going to give this one to Apple. And then notice it put in the address. And then when we click here, this will narrow the contact search down to those contacts linked to Apple. So let's just give this one to Tim Cook. And notice it pulled in his email address. Now, a proposal can have 3 different types of line items: labor, expenses, service items. And you can turn these off if you don't need them. Let's just look at each one. So with labor, labor is built around work roles. So the idea here, let's add one, is that you specify different work roles. These are the work roles that you have created. So let's say software engineer. Notice it pulled in the bill rate for software engineer. And maybe we're going to give them 10 hours of software engineering work. Some work, put in a description if you want, and then we can add other work roles as well. So let's say we're going to narrow this down for designer, and then we're going to give them, say, 5 hours of design work, and then you can kind of build this out as needed. If you want to apply the text that you selected here, then just check this. It will update for you. Okay, so that's how you add labor. Expenses over here. This drop-down menu is where you select the different expense categories that you've created. Okay, so you would need to enter the expense amount. You can add more. Just like we did with labor. Let's say 4 of those. And then again, we're going to apply the taxes here. And then lastly, we have service items. So service items allow you to pull in from your service item database. So website audit, it pulled in the price. You can add another one. Let's say maybe that one. That one did not have a price with it, but we can add that now. Maybe 5 of those. We can add taxes here as well. And then we can collapse these so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. So we've still got the totals there for labor, expenses, and service items. The subtotal, the line item discount, because remember we put in a 10% discount there. We've got our tax, and then we have the total. Now, what you can also do is you can link a work item template to your proposal. And the reason that you might do that is when your client accepts the proposal, it would then automatically build the from the work item template. So you may have a project set up as a work item template, in which case it would build that project for you automatically. So that can be a nice time saver. You can put in a message here as well. Now, there's 2 options. Once you're finished, you can save it or you can save it and send. Okay, so if you save it, then maybe you're going to come back to it later, or some people prefer to save it, download the PDF, and send it separately outside of Ravetree. But let's just go ahead and save this one, and then you can see what it looks like. So here we have our proposal, and as you can see, it was an estimate as opposed to a quote. We've got the proposal ID, which is auto-generated. And then we have all the information that we had entered up here. It will also put in your company information on the right. And then as you can see, we've got the 3 different types of things that we added: labor, expenses, service items. You can see the owner there. Also notice that because we chose to save the proposal as opposed to save and send, it's still marked as draft. So we could come over here and we could mark it as sent, but be aware that when you change it here, you're not actually sending it. You're just marking it as sent. If you want to send it, then you'll need to come over here and actually send it. And if you're not sure what happened, then you can scroll down and we show you the history. So you can see if you sent it, it would show up in the history. So that's a way to just double check. One other thing to note is that we will pull in the terms and conditions that you've added. This is something that you would add in the admin section. So if you have terms and conditions, it would automatically put those right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.